Man's best friend, of course, is the dog. It's said that some 90 million dogs are owned in the United States alone. Wolves, of course, through the analysis of DNA, have been established as the age-old ancestor to the common house dog, which is why today we're going to explore 10 wolves you won't believe actually exist. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to The Supreme, and click the notification bell for more lit content. Let's get rolling. Black Canadian. Our first entry on today's countdown is pretty special, as it's believed to be the largest wolf in all the world. It was captured on camera and posted to social media just a few months ago. This is a Black Canadian wolf, or at least that's what the name of the Instagram page is. Some seem to think it's a Eurasian wolf, but we'll talk more about those a little later. This guy that runs the channel that the video was featured on, a man named Andrei Musienko, actually lives in Russia. Anyway, the video went viral immediately, and for good reason. I'm just wondering how the heck this fella with the hoodie on can sit so close to something this massive. As with any wild animal, especially something as ancient as a wolf, you've got no idea how they're going to act from one minute to the next. But for what it's worth, the pair here do look pretty comfortable. As you can see, the black wolf is actually gray in color, and they usually only weigh up to about 160 pounds. But this husky fella clearly weighs a little bit more than that. As you could probably tell, the black wolf has very few natural predators out in the wild, and as far as this Goliath, it looks like he's found himself a nice home. Red wolf. Up next, we've got the rarest and most endangered wolf species in the world, the red wolf. These animals almost went extinct towards the middle of the 20th century after humans congregated to get rid of the red wolf because it was decimating their livestock. By 1973, there were only 14 purebred red wolves left in the world, and they were all gathered up together as part of a mission to reestablish and reintegrate them back into their natural setting. Today, there are hundreds of wolves in captive breeding centers and another 120 or so living in the wild in North Carolina. If you happen to live in that area and you enjoy going hunting, be careful not to accidentally take out a red wolf. Doing so could result in massive penalties within the Endangered Species Act. Mexican gray wolf. As we continue around the color spectrum of wild carnivores, up next we've got the Mexican gray wolf. These are a subspecies of the common gray wolf. This version is slightly smaller in stature. They're also said to have distinct and distinguished facial patterns that are a bit more complex than the regular gray. This creature, much like the red wolf, was nearly hunted to extinction simply for being the constant threat to people's cattle and other farm animals. In 1973, the final 5 wild Mexican grays were taken captive in an effort to prevent the animal from disappearing completely. Every single wolf of this species alive today is a direct descendant from those 5. Reports say that there are just more than 300 in captivity, with another 60 or so out in the wild. Eurasian wolf. The title for most powerful and fierce wolf species in the world is again a subspecies of the gray wolf, called the Eurasian wolf. They can be found across Russia, Italy, Sweden, Norway, and a few other countries. These animals are powerful and can reach up to around 110 pounds, though the heaviest one ever recorded was just under 200 pounds. They stretch out to just over 5 feet in length, and their coats are typically reddish-gray to off-white in color, and their fur is generally thicker than their North American counterparts. Another distinct difference between the Eurasian wolf and one found in North America is in their ears. The Eurasian wolf's ears sit higher on its head, and the distance between them isn't as wide as they are over here. Ethiopian wolf. The most endangered carnivore in Africa is the Ethiopian wolf. The latest estimates suggest that there are less than 500 individuals remaining in the wild, and you can find them dwelling in, you guessed it, Ethiopia. These wolves have long, slender legs, pointed ears, and a long, slim snout. While most species of wolf tend to hunt in packs, the Ethiopian wolves are solitary hunters. Like most animals who face extinction, human beings are the primary nemesis of the Ethiopian wolf. As the human population increases, the wolves are forced further and further up into the highlands, where food sources become more and more scarce. But there's also something else. Since 2008, 2 diseases, rabies and canine distemper, has forced the population to decline by roughly 30%. Dhole. We've run through the most popular and endangered wild wolves through the first 5 entries, and up next we'll open things up just a little bit. Dholes live in Central, South, and Southeast Asia. They're often referred to as Asiatic wild dogs, whistling dogs, red dogs, and even the mountain wolf. But is the dhole really a wolf? Well, not really. Dholes are canids, which simply means that they're members of the dog family. They are communal pack hunters, much like wolves, and in some areas rival tigers and leopards as the apex predators. These creatures are highly social, and while a typical pack of dholes is made up of about 12 members, there has been evidence of up to 40 traveling and living together in the past. Oh, remember when I said that dholes were also referred to as whistling dogs? Well, that's because they whistle, sort of, instead of bark. It's really quite remarkable. New Guinea singing dog. Another similar animal to a wolf that's known to live out in the wild is the unique and superbly rare New Guinea singing dog. As the name suggests, yeah, these guys are known for their ability to carry a tune. Admittedly, this animal is a lot closer to the canine you've got living at home with you, though they're naturally better intended to live out in the wild. These creatures dwell in the rainforests of Papua New Guinea, an area that's simply rarely explored by man. With that being said, the New Guinea singing dog has only been photographed out in the wild a grand total of twice. Yeah, just 2 times, but they're popular because of how they vocalize. Coming from the website dodo.com, the singing dog sounds like a, quote, remix of wolf howls and whale songs. African wild dog. Moving right along, the African wild dog is one of the most easily distinguishable animals on today's countdown. These guys live in sub-Saharan Africa. It's the patterns on their fur that makes them so distinctive, and also such a target for poachers. The unique patches of white, yellow, black, and red fur is different on each animal, and it's also earned them the nickname of the painted wolf. The large, rounded ears of the creature allow it to pick up on even the softest sounds at great distances. And while most dogs have 5 toes on each foot, the African wild dog only has 4. They also hunt in packs of up to 20 members and will commonly feast on much larger prey like antelopes and wildebeests. Maned wolf. Can we get back to actual wolves for a second? Meet the maned wolf, an animal that is in fact the largest canid species in all of South America. They love the grasslands and typically dwell in the forests of Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, and Peru. Okay, so the maned wolf actually looks more like a stretched out fox. Now, do you want to see something crazy? When a maned wolf feels threatened, those long black hairs that run down the back of its neck and shoulders will stand straight up into the air. And I don't know about you, but seeing that gives me all sorts of chills. I don't think I'd ever want to cross paths with a maned wolf. Bat-eared fox. We'll end things today with perhaps the most unique looking animal on today's list, the bat-eared fox. Do I even need to beat around the bush with this one? I mean, these animals are clearly mostly recognizable for their extremely large ears. Native to Africa, they enjoy living in the short grasslands. Their main source of food is termites, and of course the size of their ears allow them to pick up on sounds from potential predators from super great distances. Their ears are also large enough for them to actually hear the insects crawling around as they dig through the dirt. Likely the smallest entrant on today's countdown, averaging out at just about 10 pounds each, the bat-eared fox can live in captivity for up to 14 years. So that's it. Thanks for hanging out with the Supreme and watching 10 wolves you won't believe actually exist. Now, I know we got away from the wolves for just a bit, but let us know what your favorite entrant was on today's countdown. Did you learn anything new? If you did, then we'd love to hear about it. Thanks for hanging out with the Supreme. We'll see you next time.